Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us once again on the Discipline Therapy Thursday for your Discipline Therapy podcast with your two hosts, Suhey Sotomayor, and with me always, Mr. E.L. Discipline. And we have a very beautiful special guest, as you can see, but I'm not going to introduce her just yet. So, Mr. E.L. Discipline, do you want to do your thing?
Ladies and gentlemen, we know you're fiends, and what that means is we have a dose of discipline therapy where everything is completely free. See, if you subscribe, there's no monthly fee, it's free. It's judgment free, sucker free, censor free, sensitive free, and plenty of liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, or roll a blunt, but the main thing is make sure the children are in bed. Why do I say this? Because we have that soul food and sometimes vulgar conversations. Prepare your mind to be fed. Light one up, inhale life, and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast. We're here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest in studio, Shayna. How you doing?
Good.
Good. So we're just gonna brief real quick on you newly doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, what kind of a doctor?
Neuropsychologist.
Nice. So I just want to brief, and then we're gonna get into the topic because we have a really good topic. So as a young Black woman, have you what were the adversities?
I mean, it wasn't too much adversity. It's just more so, I'm a firm believer if you want something, you're just gonna have
Go
to
get
go
it.
and get it. You know what I mean? There's no restrictions really. I know society does have it where, they can limit us Black people, but
Mhm.
I didn't feel like me achieving this goal was any challenges whatsoever.
That's what's
It
up.
was just
Good
more
for you.
dedication, perseverance, and support from, family, friends, and
Good for you.
what's
That's
up.
wonderful.
That's what's up.
That's beautiful.
All right. So you want to talk the topic?
Topic?
Yeah.
Dang it. I was like,
asking more questions.
yeah.
Yo,
Are you
I told
kidding
you.
me?
I told you.
I was like,
I told
All
you.
we
right,
could get
that's
into
what-
topics
You know
if you
what I'm
want.
saying?
Only because I saw a neuropsychologist after so I had some medical issue going on 4 years ago where I almost died and everything. And I noticed after I was in a coma for 2 weeks, and when I came out, my memory was not how it was.
Right.
You know what I mean? I would be driving and I would forget where I'm coming from and all that. So I took it upon myself to go see, find out what it is. And I was sent to a neuropsychologist, and they did all these tests, and she was like, great news. You're like above average of, and I was like, that's really nice. But for myself,
Mhm.
I noticed that I'm not where I was before. Like, I don't remember things. And she was like, oh, but aren't you happy that you're you're still really
You're
good? I was
above
like,
average.
I mean, I guess so, but
Well, I mean, with any brain traumatic injury that you suffer from, it does take a long time. Even if we do assessments, and even though these results may vary depending on the assessment that's given to you, your everyday life, it is going to still take some time for you to adjust and be, I guess, normal again.
I guess, right?
No, it does take a while.
Now,
take a while.
do you practice out on the island, in the city? Where do you
Throughout
practice
New York
now?
State.
Throughout. Oh, okay. All right.
That's
So I
what's
guess
up.
now we can just jump into the topic
That's
now.
what's up, man. Congratulations.
That's beautiful.
what's
That
up.
is a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
All right. Episode 65. And you can only choose one per Mr. E.L. Discipline. He loves only choosing one. So choose one: physical appearance, mindset, connection, either sexual or spiritual, or success. Now, what are we choosing one for? What attracts us to somebody, or what, like,
If you
interest?
if you had a choice and you can only choose one, what would it be? We'll allow the guests to go first.
What was it?
It's what physical appearance,
Mhm.
mindset,
Mhm.
connection, whether spiritual or sexual, like sexual chemistry, or success.
Yeah, when you have to choose one.
This is why I do this.
This man.
This is why I do this. Because
I
when
know.
you give people many plates of food, they're like, all right, I'm
Let
gonna
me try
take it all.
Let me try a little bit of everything.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh.
But when you give many people plates of food and you're like, you can only pick one, they're like, oh man.
Yeah, which one?
Now we're getting to the nitty gritty where it's like, what is it really subjective? You know what I'm saying?
So since you're the guest, you're on the hot spot.
I mean, if I had to choose one, I would probably go with connection.
Okay.
I picked
Why?
connection too.
Why first, Shayna, and then Sue? Why?
I mean, I just feel like if you automatically connect with somebody, that physical appearance is going to connect in
Okay.
addition to the mindset, in addition to the chemistry.
Okay.
So I feel like that one connection, you will
Opens
automatically
the door for everything.
with everything else that's gonna
Mm.
happen.
That's
That's just
why-
my opinion
Okay.
about it.
Good answer.
That's why I chose it. I chose connection. I chose more spiritual connection than sexual connection or chemistry
Mhm.
for the same reason. Because once you have that connection, that person will automatically look good to you. Like their looks, you won't even see that anymore. Because you're gonna be falling in love with that. They're more the meat and potatoes of them. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's
Okay.
what's up. All right, moving forward.
Well, how about that?
What?
What about you?
Damn.
Discipline.
Don't
See,
be
I
trying to
tried.
No.
skittle
I
up and everything
tried.
like that. No, you have to choose one as well.
This is a brain surgeon over here. Okay, she
tried.
knows.
Definitely have to choose.
Okay.
He tried to sneak past
Okay.
by.
Okay. So, I'm gonna go with physical appearance. Now,
Before you crucify me.
now
yeah.
here's the thing. I would expect that answer from you two women, and most women who are spiritually in a good place, great mindset, maybe they have success already and all of that connection. Whereas men, we're more visual creatures. So the reason I'm picking physical appearance is because if she has everything else, mindset, success, and we have this great chemistry as far as spirituality, etc. We have great conversations. If I'm not physically attracted to her, it's a platonic friendship.
Mhm.
But how would you even have these conversations with the person to even know that you connect with them, on a mindset level and everything like that, if you never had a conversation? So if you physically seen a female that you like and never had a conversation with her, how do you know what her mindset is?
Yeah, that's when I would initiate that and then start to get to know her. But I feel like that physical attraction is gonna attract me first.
That's what's going to open the door.
Yeah,
turn
to
the
want to
knob.
make that approach.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? But it's like I do value all the other things, excluding success.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
I
I'm
think
at-
females tend to look deeper at that question because
Yeah.
in reality, I think everybody, you have to have something in their appearance to get that trigger in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like
But we're just
especially-
more deeper,
Well,
species.
yeah, that's why I said like I expected that from most women
Mhm.
because men are, we're conquerors, we're the ones that approach, so there has to be something that's gonna make us want to approach you.
Mhm.
You know?
Okay.
Okay.
Do you believe in unconditional love?
Me?
Both. This
Go
is a
ahead, go
question.
first.
He said, "Guess who's gonna go first?" By the way, you're always gonna answer first.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm like so camera shy. It's so funny. I mean, I definitely read this question and I think it's a harmful thing to say that I believe in unconditional love. And the reason I say that is because I think people don't really know what unconditional means.
Mm.
And when I say that is it's like, unconditional love is love that's granted without any restrictions,
Mhm.
right? So, or any conditions whatsoever.
Yeah.
So with that being said, unconditional love is valueless if there's no way to earn it. And I have no interest of being loved by anyone if it's unconditional is because it means that
Right.
you're
There's
loved
like
with that.
stipulations or something
Right.
that go with it. Mhm.
So after all, I'm going to grant my love to anybody or anything like that. The entire point of dating is to get to know someone, to see if you're compatible with the person.
Agree.
So this is a condition that everyone has. You want to get to know the person. You want to know if you're compatible. So if you're going in saying I unconditionally love the person, then that means that you're not really getting to really know the person for who they really are.
Right.
And what about
exactly.
if they mess up in something?
Yeah.
Do you
Mhm.
still
Or
love
they
them
do something.
unconditionally?
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I like that. You
You.
listen. I'm the gentleman here. Women first.
I do believe in unconditional love, but not. Let me rephrase that. I believe when it's between a parent and a child.
Damn, she took my answer.
Think about
That's
that
why I
now.
said I told you to go first. No way. You should have listened, right?
Yeah.
When it has to do with a parent and a child, I think that there is 100% unconditional love, and it might not be child back to parent, but it's definitely parent to child at
Yeah.
that point. Anything else, I agree with our guest here.
Yeah, I concur. I don't believe in unconditional love. And I think like there's so much social conditioning, you know, and we compartmentalize certain things, especially in the Bible, like in like Ephesians and Corinthians, they talk about unconditional love, and I really think it's BS because I don't think like I think like you were saying, if it's like a parent child, then it's unconditional. There's certain conditions that comes with my love. There's certain things that made me love you because we all have different love languages. So because of those different love languages, I feel like that's the condition. Like if a woman says to me, I love everybody unconditionally. If I'm your husband, that means you love the homeless man the same way you love me because you're saying it's unconditional. That's why I don't believe in unconditional love. I believe like there's certain conditions. Like for example, you love that person for what they're providing. You love that person for the way they make you feel. You love that person for his character or for her character, her morals or whatever it is. Maybe the way she looks, because everybody has different love languages, you know. So that's how I look at it.
Okay.
And to go into like, and as far as in you being in a relationship with somebody and showing the unconditional love, I think it's expected for, like you said, Sue, for everyone, for you and your child to have that unconditional love. But when it comes to like a relationship,
Yeah.
you know, we're all unique and flawed, you know. So I feel like that's part of being in a relationship, and is to love and accept your partner
And learn them.
and regardless of whether they check all the boxes.
Exactly.
And that's what really unconditional love is about.
I agree. I agree.
That's a great point.
I think like a plethora of times, like we see people not accepting, and I feel like it's more on the women's side than it is the men.
What?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of women. I feel like a lot of women try. Maybe not you. You know, you might not be in this category, but most women, you know, are in this category where they want to change men. You know, they something that attracts her to him is the same thing she's trying to change later down the line. Oh, well, you know, all you want is control and dominance, and you know, you're always alpha. But that's what attracted her to you. So now it's not benefiting.
So-
you know what I think it is? Why women do that? Because I agree with you. I believe that there are you know, that women have that in them, like, oh, I'm gonna change that about you. I think it's because now that they have you, why do you need to keep doing that attracted me to you in the first place? You're just gonna attract different women.
So give an example of what you're saying as far as what a woman would try to change in a person. Because I mean, you know, I feel like when you're in a relationship or when you become monogamous in a relationship, or at least, you know, there are certain things you're going to alter that you're not accustomed
Right, like
to doing.
you shouldn't have to go out all the time.
No. I'm just saying that's what I'm saying to you. Like,
Give an example.
Give an example of what you think like a woman would change. You know, is it more like
okay.
the person?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Finish. So, for example, let's say she has a specific criteria of a man. Like, yo, you gotta be a bad boy, but you gotta have your shit together, and you also gotta be a good man. So she meets this guy who could be
confused her right now. She's like,
exterior of a bad boy,
built,
and
tattoos,
then,
looking good. Okay.
now she gets with him, and she sees that he has a lot of bad habits, and she's like, but there's benefits in this relationship of being with him.
But bad habits like what?
Just toxic tendencies that she doesn't like.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So now she's like, I want to change him however she goes about it, however the steps she goes about it to make him into that dream guy that she wants. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. That's just an example.
All right.
Yeah, I hear that a lot too. I hear that you know, men tend to complain about, when they get involved in a relationship, that a lot of women do try to change who they are and things like that, and not really uplift them or support who they are.
Right.
Mm.
I think one of the things that I've seen like girls try to do is if her boyfriend has like every weekend, every Saturday, him and his boys go to the bar to watch a fight or whatever.
Mm.
Once she gets with him, she's like, well, why do you have to go out every weekend now? But you met me like that. I already
Yeah.
told you that that's what I wanted to do. You know, that's what I do with that's my time with my people. And there she goes, mine. But no, but what about me?
Yeah.
And how come you don't want it? I think
Yep.
that's what
goes, like you were
Yeah.
saying, that goes back to what attracted her to you. She's trying to change down the line. Like, oh my God, I love that you're outgoing. I love that
you spend time with your
you
friends
don't
and stuff.
stay at home and you're not like an introvert. You're an extrovert.
Those are red flags right there. Like, you like that I don't stay home? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how important is success if he meets your physical appearance needs, emotional needs, sexual needs, and more? Well, I can't ask you this question, Discipline. You're a he.
Well, it could
Well,
be
I guess you
flipped
could
for
be, yeah.
women. Yeah. But how important is it, Shayna?
As far as
How important is success?
Mhm.
Like the man that you're getting with, is his success if he gives you if his physical appearance meets your standards, he's giving you he's meeting your emotional needs, sexual needs, and like everything.
It's kind of hard to say. I mean, because if
What?
I mean,
She's like, how am I going
how am I
going
going
to
to address this? No, seriously, I feel like when you're dating anyone, you definitely look into having that financial stability. You want that financial stability, but then you're also going in, wanting all these other needs, your emotional needs being met, your sexual needs being met, and everything like that. I feel, for me, speaking for me, if the person is not quite where they would want to be, you know what I'm saying, or if I met them and it's a little different, because I can't really
like where they
explain
are
it.
in their life
Yeah,
right now.
I can't really explain it because I feel like when you're in a relationship with somebody, it's not a competition. So
Stop lying. No, I'm just kidding.
it's not a competition, let's just say he's more successful than I am.
Mhm.
Whatever. Like, I'm not gonna, get upset because, I have
He's
to
making
be
more, right.
like, I have to be where he's at, and if he's giving me everything else and everything like that, I would,
What about if you're more successful than him?
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
if I'm more successful than him,
Right.
Yeah.
Like he's not you are at
and
a
he's
point in
giving me everything else.
Yes.
I mean, we gonna work it out.
You see? I said this.
Wait.
Yo.
I agree with her.
I said this.
Let's work it out.
I said this before
Because
in a
just because
show.
he's not successful right this very moment
Right.
doesn't take away from who he is as an individual.
Right.
Would you be inclined to saying, baby, I'm gonna help you get there, like, so we could, like, on my level as far as
Help him, you mean?
success and finances, help him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a rarity. Not a lot of women would,
Really?
think
Well,
like
I mean,
that.
I guess it depends on the level of the relationship too.
I mean,
if you're just
what
like,
if you-
if we're going from this question,
What if you just? Oh, go ahead, and I'll ask her.
all right, if we're going from this bullet, how important is success if he meets everything else?
yes, I would
then yeah.
definitely help him.
Okay, we're talking now built relationship dynamic, right?
I don't know.
Like they've already went
So
on
we already- so
dates.
we
They
already
already
Established,
We already
yes.
established.
Oh, okay. All right. Then it's a little bit hard. It's a little bit easier to answer that.
Yes.
What if
Meeting
you just
somebody?
met him
Mm.
and you guys go on a first date?
Like,
Now this guy is everything you want physically and everything. And then you say, well, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm between things and whatever. I don't really have. Then no, right?
She didn't say that.
Okay.
I definitely didn't say no.
She just made it look. She was like, I don't know.
Mm.
She's like, we'll talk about that on the next date, buddy.
Okay, so that's a plead the fifth thing.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll take the fifth.
What's the craziest thing you ever did while you were in a relationship?
I have a couple of those stories, so I'm gonna let Shayna go first. There we
What
go.
do you mean crazy? I mean, define crazy.
Like
Alright,
institutional.
I have
like
two.
you should be institutionalized.
I have two. I'm gonna go one. I'm gonna say my first one, then you can go,
Okay.
and then I will do another one.
Okay.
So back when I was like, I don't even know, 15, 16, I was going out with a boy, Puerto Rican boy. Those Puerto Rican guys, man, they'll kill you. And he hung up on me. And I was like, oh no, he didn't. Because that is the one thing that drives me crazy. Do not hang up on me. Well, especially back then. So I waited. Oh, this was at maybe 12, in the afternoon. I waited until 2 o'clock in the morning, stole my father's car, drove to his house, snuck in,
I think
broke
I remember
into
this.
his window, and
Mm.
went to him. I was like, don't you ever hang up on me again.
Mm.
That's a little on the crazy side. But again, I was 15, 16, so
Mm.
long time ago.
So what was the craziest thing you
I mean, I think it's I it was more so this is very, very long time ago. And it became a thing where I basically followed the person that I was with, and
You didn't hide in the trunk, did you?
no,
Okay,
of course not. I followed him.
good.
I followed him in my own car and everything like that. And obviously he was with another woman, and I confronted both of them
Mm.
and things like that. You don't want to come out the house.
Mm.
It's like, you know me, so why would
You
you
had
come
a
out the house
ratchet
at
in
this
your
point?
hand or something?
It's like, why would you?
Yep, career ratchet habits. Needless to
Man.
say, it was just like
I like that.
those. Yes,
No, your
Def-
shirt. I like
oh,
your shirt.
yes, it definitely defines who I am.
Mm.
It was just like more things like that, just the popping up, but these were the
Oh, the surprise pop-up. Surprise, I'm here.
yes, I'm definitely here.
Mr. Discipline, what's the craziest thing you ever done?
Um.
Clearly, we're talking younger discipline, because you have been very,
Disciplined.
self-disciplined for a long time.
Yeah. Craziest thing I've done. I mean, what some people may see as crazy, I see as normal.
Can you tell us what your
I locked
crazy
a woman
normal?
in a closet once because she was
Oh, yeah.
acting
You
crazy.
said that on the show.
I've never been that guy to stalk or do none of that stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe like having sex in like the park with a lot of people around.
Oh, okay.
No,
It was
I-
crazy.
All right.
okay.
And so my crazy is like different from like a lot of people's
Yeah,
crazy.
you heard us like, oh, okay. Well, that is kind of crazy. That is pretty different there. Okay.
But I've never been like like I said, I've never been that guy that's like, yo, let me check your phone and do this and do that. Like I've always been that person if trust is big for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
too.
Especially the lifestyle I live. If I don't trust you, I can't fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if I don't trust you to the point where it's making me want to stalk, I'm getting away from it because that's
Mhm.
gonna become a second job.
But I
Mm-hmm.
think that comes with growth too. I think that comes with growth, and
100%.
I
Yeah.
think that comes with maturity. Because plenty of things that I probably would even like I would do crazy then. I wouldn't even think
Do
about
now.
doing it now.
Exactly.
So that definitely comes with growth. That definitely comes with security within yourself as
Mhm.
an individual as well.
Mhm. I was just about to say
so-
that. Self-knowledge and all that
Mhm.
stuff. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
What triggers you?
Mhm.
Definitely.
Okay.
Um,
So let's go to these questions. What do you think about masculinity? Do you believe in toxic masculinity?
I do.
Okay.
I definitely do.
Okay.
So go ahead and
she said, "Jump in, sis."
Jump.
All right. I personally believe that anything can be toxic. So masculinity can be toxic, femininity can be toxic. It goes behind the person that's doing these acts or whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So anything can be toxic, and it just depends on the person.
Okay. I disagree.
Mm.
I've said this in shows prior
Mm-hmm.
that it's an oxymoron in my opinion. Masculinity is like divine. Masculinity is like a real man. Masculinity
Mhm.
is everything that the femininity is going to need. So when you put toxic, and masculine together, it's like saying horrid real man or bad good thing, like a Biggie Smalls, which is not real. It was Christopher Wallace, or like Big Shrimp. So those are just my opinions. Do you, since you believe in toxic masculinity, the both of you, do you think it's important for a man to be assertive, dominant, or at least possess these characteristics, even if what is important to you on the list he doesn't fulfill?
Which list?
Like
The first one, the
yeah.
main one, the topic.
I feel like for me, it really depends on, there's a time and place for a man to be assertive. There's a time and place for him to be, what was the other part?
Dominant.
Dominant and things like that. I mean, if he has these qualities, it's great, within that individual. But like I said, there's always a time and place to exude these things.
Is the time and place the bedroom?
For the
being
for
assertive
and dominant?
No,
it could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere.
Okay.
See, I think that it is important for men to have to be assertive or dominant, or like you said, at least possess these traits. But I think that from my definition of toxic masculinity, it's like you have those men that come and they say, that a toxic masculinity man for me would be a man that came and says, no, you can't work, you have to stay in the kitchen. Why can't I work? Why can't I make my own money? Because you're a woman and you need to stay in the kitchen.
So he's
That's
misogynistic
and toxic.
Okay.
But also, I think that would go more controlling too.
And controlling.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that men shouldn't be assertive and dominant, because like Shayna said, there is a time and a place, and it's not just the bedroom that they can be like this.
Okay. I agree. I agree with that sense. But once again, I'm gonna disagree with the toxic masculinity. I think that is more defined as toxic males, toxic females. Like when you put like femininity and masculinity in it, it's a different realm now.
Yeah, I agree. I just think I agree with you on that on that with the masculinity and femininity. It should be, the word should be toxic male or toxic female, but I think people just, I guess because the word just looks prettier, masculinity, that they just said it. I agree with you with that. If what you wanted the most on the list, he already has it, but he isn't really masculine, does it matter? I'm gonna go for me. It does matter.
It matters to me too.
I don't want like not that there's anything wrong with them, but if I'm gonna be with a man, I want to be with a man.
So is that is that almost like, is that almost like difficult because it's almost like I want my cake and to eat it too?
No, it's just more of a preference. Because there are some women that prefer to be with
a softer man,
to be with somebody that's not as masculine as others.
She's probably a dominant woman, right? And aggressive.
I'm not. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah, probably because she likes to take control. Maybe that's what it is.
Yes. Sorry to cut you off. Would you agree that in whatever relationship dynamic, there has to be a masculine and a feminine, whether it's heterosexual or non-heterosexual? Do you believe that a relationship dynamic can be successful with two masculine people, two feminine people? Or there has to be a balance?
I think there has to be a balance. I believe there has to be definitely a balance. Because,
I agree.
In my current relationship, like I've always been an alpha female, and I know he's definitely, assertive and all this other stuff. So it's more so, you have to learn how to have the balance and to...
Who's going to relinquish control?
Who's going to just be like, okay, you know what?
So who relinquishes control? She's like, that's another fifth.
Another fifth. Depends on the situation. I mean, we're pretty fair with one another. So
okay,
that's awesome. How long have you guys been together?
2 years.
Nice. That's good. This one, do you want to do this next bullet? Because I'm a little lost with how
what do you bring to the table? And you can't say submissive, cooking, cleaning.
You just are we skipping?
Yeah,
no.
He skipped a little bit.
Where am I? Where am I? Okay. Oh, there we are. Okay,
Yeah.
I found myself in. Okay.
So what do you bring to the table? You can't say submissive, you can't say cook, clean, or supportive.
I cook, I'm cleaning. I'm
I'll do it all. She could check your brain.
No, definitely don't bring work home.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You know, I'm heavy on communication, which I feel like a lot of relationship lacks.
Okay.
I'm heavy on respect,
Mm.
support, physically, mentally, emotionally. Um, I definitely feel that you know, um,
Well, support's out of the question because I put
it's
supportive.
He's just being a bully.
are you serious? You know,
So what was it? You bring communication,
communication,
respect.
respect,
So you bring value.
honesty, value,
Okay.
yes.
Honesty. What else?
Um,
What else do you
cons-
think a man like would value with you? Like would he where he would consider you valuable or high value?
And you say cooking is out of the question, right?
Hmm.
Dang, well, there's my answer.
damn.
Well,
Career driven,
Oh, that's
okay,
good.
career
career.
driven.
Nice one. Nice one.
Okay.
Since you took all the good stuff,
Since we
Yeah.
can't cook or clean or support,
support. I
Yeah.
can't support. How's your day,
So
babe? I
career.
can't support you
So
today.
can't ask
career.
none of those type questions
So
around here.
career driven for yourself, or you would be able to help him.
Both,
Okay.
you know, both.
Okay.
Let's see.
It's a difficult one, huh?
Yes,
You know?
because I guess the things that you have limited from saying that's what more normal most
Right,
Most
that's the
women
answer
would
most
that
say
we'll go
that.
with
everybody would
that.
say.
Yeah.
You know, ensuring that the person is happy with you.
Giving, like catering. Do you bring that to the table?
Oh yeah.
Because those are things that like most women won't even mention. They're gonna mention the cooking, the cleaning, the supportive. I'll give you that emotion. She'll say, "Oh, I got my own money, so I could help you. I could be there for you to vent." But like, how many women are gonna say, "I come with love. I come with where I'm a giver."
And an obvious one too, because I'm sure we all come with love in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's just that I think that it's such an obvious one that it escapes everybody. You know what I mean? Because if you stop and think about it, of course, we're gonna come with love. I'm gonna be that ear, like you said. You want to vent to me, I will help you. I will uplift you. You're in a bad place. I will turn your world around, and we're gonna go and get this done. You know what I mean? Like everybody has that in them. It's just that first you put poor Sheena and I under, under pressure, and you took our go-to answers. It was so hard.
It's like one of the things that like right in this question, because then it started making you think like, okay, what do I really bring to the table?
I
And stuff like
know.
that. So I had to like literally ask myself, some of the things is like, am I secure and confident within my relationship? Do I constantly steer, around and start things, or am I just like, just like shying away from the insecurities? And this also goes back on how well you seek to support your partner rather than controlling and limiting them, which we were talking about earlier, like the changing and things like that.
Yeah.
And then, another thing that I came like when I was like really looking into this question is like, are you expressive or your appreciation for your partner? Do you constantly tell
Thank
them,
you.
all the time? And I feel like a lot of times, like we get so deep into what brought us together that we forget to thank them, or and it's not like you have to say it every single day, but every once in a while, like I think it's good to always recognize your partner and let them know, like, okay, you know what, I appreciate what you did. It could be the biggest thing. I mean, I know for me, I'm like more like it's the small things for me,
Right.
So, and are you open and vulnerable with your partner?
Yes.
You got to be open. They got to know what's going on. They got to, and I think,
Are you talking on a woman's perspective or men?
both.
So a man that's constantly vulnerable,
It's not constantly vulnerable.
Okay.
You don't have to constantly be
Just
vulnerable.
show her that side of you.
You know, because sometimes, like, you know, you can. Now, when you're saying constantly vulnerable, or when you're saying vulnerable, like, what do you define as vulnerable?
Because, well, I'm a technical person.
Oh, God.
I don't
Technical fighter right there.
I don't look at a word and say it is a specific, like it's specific.
Mhm.
So when you say vulnerable, I say vulnerable mentally, emotionally, sexually, physically.
Oh,
I put
okay.
it all in that category. So when, okay, I'm gonna give you an example about me. Me, I'm not vulnerable sexually. I'm not vulnerable physically, and I'm not very vulnerable emotionally.
Okay, that's fair.
But psychologically, I could be vulnerable. I'll share things with you.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not a I love you type of guy. I'm more of I'll say that once in a while, but I show it more. I'm more of that actions. You know, I'm if I'm having a bad day, I'm not a complainer. I'm not gonna call her, oh, you know, this and this. Like I'm just gonna thug it out, and I'm just gonna self motivate myself. If she's like, hey, how'd it go today? Well, I kind of had a little downer, but I picked myself up. She's just gonna know it just like that. I'm not gonna tell her details, so I'm not vulnerable in that sense. Sexually, I'm not vulnerable. Ain't nobody tying me up, sticking nothing up my butt, doing nothing. I'm not vulnerable sexually, and I will never be. Physically, I'm not vulnerable. You know, she it's just she can't pet my head and you know, oh, come here like a boy, baby boy. Like, no, I'm not vulnerable like that. But all those other ways I could be vulnerable. That's why
Okay.
I'm a technical person.
All those other ways you just named like 5 that you're not and 1 that you are. What did this man say? I was like, all those other ways.
So when you
Can
mean
we go-
vulnerable, do you mean emotionally?
I think it's just being expressive, like, you know, not necessarily like shutting. Like, if you're okay,
Because
it's okay to go through something and not share that with your partner at that very moment. It's okay because, you know, we all have our time when we're going to share things, whatever. But I'm talking about like emotionally in a sense of like not shutting that partner out,
Exactly.
you know, because then it just becomes a situation where it's like, what's
Right.
going on?
That your partner will be like, is
Then you
everything
start
okay?
fishing.
Because I don't
Now
know
you
what's
start
going
fishing.
on. Exactly.
You know,
And then they're gonna start thinking something's up because, you know, I clearly you can see that there's something wrong with him. You know, he's more quiet, more reserved. He's not texting me. I text him, he doesn't text me back. Something's going on. And meanwhile, you could be trying to figure it out on your own. And old girl has her head spinning stories. You know, he's with somebody else, or
would not come as supportive.
that's what I think.
That is being supportive.
What?
And
What?
You're trying to figure out what your partner is going through.
Yeah, but we not saying supportive. You can't pick it. You can't pick it.
we thought that if we slid it in there in a whole different way,
Okay, so I agree with both you ladies. Men should be at least vocalize shit. Like a woman should never have to worry about what you thinking or what are we and all this other stuff. I always urge young men to do this. You know, I always teach young men to be this way, expressive, but not be like emotionally vulnerable because women won't respect you if you're like this. But express your boundaries, your hard limits, you know, how you feel, what you don't like, what's bothering you, and all of that. Because a lot of times men don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, there's a misconception that people think this is toxic masculinity.
yes,
Or toxic males. You see what I'm
Mhm,
saying?
because they don't want to share their emotions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I agree
And I
to
think
a
that
certain extent.
it's considered toxic masculinity, but in reality, it's just that's how these men are brought up. You know, you don't cry. You hold that in. You got to be tough. You see what I'm saying?
Men
It's like
shouldn't
it's like a
cry though.
circle.
Men shouldn't cry.
Why not?
But
I mean,
no, they shouldn't.
there's a place and time.
Someone
I've had this
passes
conversation with
away.
him.
Someone passes away. You know, someone close to you. Okay, that's fine, but you shouldn't be crying for little things. It rained today. Your thing ripped. You waited. Oh my God! You were going to be like you're going to be on time at work, and you were the last person to get coffee. Now you're late. You're crying. No, men shouldn't be crying for those things.
Women shouldn't be crying for those things either.
Yeah, but it's understandable because women are more emotional. Men shouldn't be.
There's some men that's very emotional.
Yes, they're. Yeah, and y'all probably don't respect them. So here's the thing: men should not be doing this stuff. But sharing, like that partner that you have, the feelings that you share with them, they've earned that. I'm not saying to be vulnerable with everybody, like go on social media and
Right.
Instagram and be like, I'm sad today. No, but that person that's
Yes.
been there, they've earned that. But I'm not saying do it all the time, but they've earned it.
Mm-hmm.
It's for them to do that.
I agree.
Yeah. Does a man or a woman's financial status determine his or her ambition?
Wait, their own ambition? Does their financial status determine their own ambition?
Yes.
That one confused me. What is your take on this? I know I had to. I was like, wait, what?
I don't think it determines their ambition, only because I read in depth.
I
That
don't think it
person's
does either.
financial status could have been a trust fund,
Mm-hmm.
a silver spoon baby, or something like that.
Right. And most of the time, those are not ambitious.
Yeah, yeah,
There's some, female ones out there
yeah.
that brought, grandfathers built
Mhm.
things, and now they don't have to work. They
Right.
have no ambition.
Right.
Now, for you ladies, do you date higher or equal to yourself, or do you date down?
For myself, I try to at least date equal or
What about
higher.
you?
Equal or higher.
So you believe men and women are equal, and the relationship is 50-50?
I don't think all relationships are 50-50 because if, for example, just like the question you just asked, if I'm going into a relationship and his salary is higher, then it would never be 50-50.
Okay.
That's true.
So he's obviously going to put out more than what I could put out. I mean, on a financial aspect of things,
Mm-hmm.
but I may put out more on an emotional or something else aspect of things. So there's no balance.
Okay. Okay.
Unless you both going in making the same exact thing and doing
Right.
the same exact thing for one another, then it's 50-50. But it's hard to say a relationship is 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's good.
I mean, that's just my personal view.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you both said higher or equal?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What's your preference?
I'm not dating equal. I would date under. If I date higher than me in status and stuff like that, if I date higher than me, then she has to be bringing something to the table that's like gonna help me build. For example, let's say she's let's say she makes 6 figures, 7 figures. I'm not gonna care about the money she makes because I make money. So it's gonna have to be like, okay, if she makes that money, how is that gonna be conducive to my life? Can I incorporate her in my business and can she help me propel that? So can I utilize her efficiently in that way? Because most men think like me, like the higher a woman gets in status and money, the lower value she is. Especially if we got it
The lower value she is to who?
to those men.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? Because like we're not men are not inclined to be taken care of. Men
They
are,
take care of others.
yeah, because men are born to be providers. That's
well,
like
they provide. Women take care. Because women take care of the home. We take care of the family. Men are providers.
So let me ask you a question. So
Right?
do you feel that, let's just say, these men, that if they do find a woman that's equal to, do you feel that
it's
they
a turnoff.
yes, or because of their, maybe they feel like they can't provide anything for that woman because they're coming in equally,
Mm-hmm.
so they feel insecure about.
A lot of those men might,
Mm.
yeah. Me, I'm different. That's why I say I would date higher.
And
Not
lower.
just
And
not
lower.
just
Said
excuse
lower.
me. Yeah, and I would date lower. Yeah.
So do you think most
Mo-
men date lower?
Yes, because they could be alpha by default.
Right. Well, I'm
So
taking care of you, so
yeah,
like that.
so me, I know what I bring to the table. So even if she makes 6, 7 figures, I'm an educator. Like the list goes on what I can bring to the table.
Mhm.
So it's like at the end of the day, there's not gonna be competition there. There's not gonna. It's like you can make more money than me. It's not gonna make me feel any less of a man.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Some men are gonna feel intimidated of that.
Right.
Oh man, like she pays
She's
her
ta-
own bills. She don't need me. But I bring other things to the table. So it's like, yeah, she pays her own bills. You know, I could go 50-50 or whatever it is.
Mm.
I'm bringing other things.
Mm.
Mm.
So here's a big question that I have, and I want to have this with you, Suhei,
Mm-hmm.
for another topic, maybe
Okay.
on my audio thing. Do you think if a man pays half the bills, can he still be a provider?
I think so. If he pays half the bills and I pay half the bills, is he still a provider? Yeah.
What about you?
Of course.
Okay. Damn, I was hoping you guys
Why
were gonna say
wouldn't? Why
no.
wouldn't? Because
I was
you
hoping
just wanted to start a fight.
I was hoping y'all was gonna say no.
He wanted Shayna to
Because-
say no, but come on, Shayna, say no, say no, say no.
Oh my
because
God.
because the thing is, what a lot of people don't understand. I'm also glad y'all said yes, but what a lot of people don't understand is me when I take the word when I look at the word provider, I look at it in its entirety. When most people think of provider as finance only, provide and protect, money and
And protection.
protection. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Burglar comes in or whatever,
Mhm.
protection. Walking on the side of the traffic, protection.
Mhm.
They think that way. Me when I look at provider, I'm like, no, it's that entirety. You could pay all the bills, have a little dick, not be able to provide sex, not be able to. You're a weakling, not be able to provide protection. All of that stuff is providing. As a man, you're a handyman. You're able to fix things. You're able to teach her. You might be smarter than her, teaching her something, maybe empowering her, fixing her credit. So these are
Mhm.
things that a man can bring to the table where he still can be a provider.
Mhm.
But when most people look at provider, they're like, yo, you got to be a provider, provide and protect. They're thinking finances.
Mhm.
Right.
But a man can pay all the bills and he won't do shit. God forbid, y'all at a supermarket and a guy comes in shooting. He runs out the door and leaves you.
Right.
He's not a provider and
No.
or no, a protector. He's just providing finance.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, y'all did good.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
I feel like he was about to tear us apart.
Girl, you lucky you said yeah. He was like, damn it.
Stay in that safe
Ooh.
coast. Mm-mm.
So, do you have any final thoughts?
Wait.
What?
Can we go back to talking about Shayna though?
Oh my
Oh.
God.
Yes,
I'm not
girl.
I'm not
Yo,
really
I
the
told
one
you.
to
But
like
that
really
listen, that is
public-
impressive. How can I ask your age? No.
What?
Oh
She
shoot.
plead a fifth.
She's like, listen here, bitch.
gonna
I liked
plead
you
the
when I
fifth.
came in, but
She gonna plead
all
the
that's
fifth.
done now.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you one thing.
Dang.
She's in my age bracket.
All right, so you're young.
Mhm.
Okay, you that is phenomenal that you did all that. And how long was like schooling and stuff?
Forever.
That's
You
why I'm
see?
like. That's why I said
That's
congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
It's been a very
That's
long
saying?
time.
that
A
is so
very
impressive
long
because a
time.
lot of people, that is not just, for those out there, it's not just, oh, I went to school and I'm not trying to knock
No,
anybody's
definitely
hustles
not.
down, but that is some hard ass long hours studying,
Still studying.
you see what I'm saying?
Studying.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, still
That is, you know
studying.
what? Can we
Yeah.
add in one of these crackers? No, you don't
Yeah.
clap.
No,
for me.
I clap for myself.
All
and
over.
it's
Yeah.
like
As a matter of fact, hell yeah.
it comes down to also it shows that you're
The
you're
determination.
focused, you're
Yeah.
focused, and you have priorities.
Mhm.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's like you know it. I don't need to talk about it. Like people of our color, come where we come from. You know what I'm saying? It's very difficult. So when you obtain this, like even like I always say, like men who even get out of the hood, who make it to like 25. You know what I'm saying? You've made it. So anything else is extra. It's a bonus.
See, hearing all this stuff, on social media, on the news, how now I don't know why now it's coming into the spotlight, but how there's a lot of racism with doctors and people of color, especially women of color who are giving when they're giving birth, they tend not to take their cries for being in pain as serious as, let's say, a Caucasian woman
Mm.
or something. How does that make you feel, you being in the medical field, listening and hearing this stuff? Do you feel like, that's true? I've seen it. I've witnessed it. Or have you witnessed any of that?
I
Oh,
definitely
that's
haven't
good.
witnessed any of that.
Thank goodness.
I don't really deal too much with like with I mainly deal with the assessments, the evaluations. I'm
Okay.
just signing it off on what I feel like my evaluation is. Funny thing is, a lot of people like, when they come and they'll like I had like a few patients, whatever, so they'll come in and they'll they're walking in with a cane and everything. Well, they walk in with a cane and everything like that. Funny story. And then, I'll come out. They don't know if,
Mm-hmm.
they're like, and then they're like out there, because they're coming to get an assessment.
Mm-hmm.
So they're out there, they're just like, whatever they're doing. And then when I come out, I'm like, okay, I'm here to see you, whatever. They're like, oh, are you the doctor? And I'm like, yeah. So then now they want to play it off and trying to walk with the cane.
Mhm. Like, oh,
I'm
Yeah.
like, you might as well just cancel the cane. Just
like, I already saw you. Oh.
I already seen you. So it's like, oh, I didn't know you were the doctor. I'm like, well, what does a doctor look like?
Right.
Mm.
I'm
Exactly.
confused.
Did you not have your white coat on that day?
Definitely, I don't wear the white coat.
There
I
you
wear
go.
my blazer.
So you think have you ever experienced like a man coming to you and then he just saw how beautiful you look and then he's like, yo, I'm sick, I need like another assessment or whatever. Has that ever
Yes,
have you ever experienced that?
I've experienced those.
That is
But
so
I,
funny.
I keep it real professional, and that's it.
That's
Not
what's
on.
up.
I would love to have you back on. I'm thinking of having like a medical one, like a medical episode. And I have a girlfriend that's a doctor, another one, a couple of nurses. I would love to have you on also if you're interested in that.
Yeah, that's definitely good. I'm definitely welcome. I gotta get these questions better prepared. You was all over the place.
Yeah.
I specifically said I'm not really good with this.
She's like, hold up. When
I
we
think
made
you did
plans,
good.
sir,
I
this
think
was
you
not
did.
in it. I think
I
you did
think-
phenomenal.
I think you did well.
I'm not really a good. The funny thing is, I've never been a public speaker. I'm very
Neither.
shy when it comes to stuff like
You
that.
came prepared. Like you
I
wouldn't
love
even
this.
know.
I love
I had
this.
my
You
little
would
notes and
you wouldn't
That's
everything.
even know. You
perfect.
came prepared. You
Yeah.
you
Oh, my
did
goodness.
you did well.
I'm over here like sweating and
like
stuff.
I was saying, like I was
Sweating.
saying,
You just look like you're glistening and
listen,
shit.
like
This is
I
my
my
was
sweat
sweat.
becomes gloss.
like I was saying, a lot of these, like I like to ask people questions, just get their perspective. It's your opinion.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean it's
It's not
facts.
right or wrong.
But it doesn't mean it's wrong. But
Mhm.
it's your opinion.
Mhm.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying. You pretty much it's your time to shine and stuff like that. Like I live a different life and I have a different mindset, so I like to hear what other people say and think. Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, I've never had a guest come so prepared like you. That's fantastic. I was like,
I had my
what is
notes
that
and
she got
everything.
going on? I thought you were gonna read about yourself, like what you do. And then I was like, wait, those questions look mighty familiar. What? I was like, give me this. She got good answers. I want her answers now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So
before we go, I know
Oh.
you said you was interested in this shirt. My partner and I, we do have a clothing line.
Oh,
as
that's what's
well.
up.
Yes.
You want to
On
promote
the
that?
side.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Gotta promote everything.
Yes.
We definitely have a clothing line,
What's it called?
Proper Etiquettes.
And where can we find?
You can go to at Proper Etiquette .com, or you can go Proper Etiquette, proper _etiquette on Instagram. I'm pretty sure I'll send you the link.
Yeah,
to it,
yeah.
and you can just add it
I'm
on
gonna
there.
buy some.
But they gotta buy some stuff because
Oh,
you're
yeah.
definitely a
Career
gentleman.
woman. Oh,
We
damn
don't
it.
care-
And
we-
gentlemen
Well,
too?
we have gentlemen too.
Listen, it's not just that. It's I
Yeah, we
like support
support.
Yes.
black businesses.
Definitely.
You know what I'm
the
saying?
Support Israel, love Israel. I appreciate you guys having me here, and looking forward to future.
I signed the book for you also.
Yes.
My latest book, I signed it.
Oh,
Maybe
that's a
next
good
time,
one.
maybe I
Ooh.
should come back and be like critique on the book. So I have highlights and stuff.
Oh, she got highlighters. She got highlighters. I like
Okay,
it.
okay.
I
We
like
got
it.
we got
She's
we
a-
got like a season 7 where we're gonna talk about the book. So yeah, we could
Okay.
Oh, that would
probably
be awesome.
set that up.
Yes.
Definitely. But thank you for coming on.
No problem.
Yes.
Thank you guys for having me.
Fantastic.
You have anything else?
Any final thoughts for yourself?
No.
All right.
Definitely.
I loved having you on. I thought you were fabulous. I love the shirt, and I'm definitely gonna buy one. Next time you see me, I'm gonna have one of those.
Yes.
And my final thoughts on the show was, you know what? I had so much fun. I have no final thoughts. Mr. Discipline, take it away.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. You did great, even though you think you didn't. So you were very well prepared for the answers, and
Wonderful.
like I said, your answers were right for how you think.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you were tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast.
Peace.
Peace.